All right. Hello, everybody. I mean, we we keep oscillating between 60 and 61. Oh, I got 10 more people on my teaching channel. I'm really hoping that people are getting the idea of the chart created by my professor that is really useful for them. And we are on 62 here. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, I decided to pass by today because last video wasn't very uh, motivating, I would say, but it was very honest. I can assure you that. And after that, because I was really in a bad place, and I have been studying a lot of that, a lot of psychological and disconnection, body and mind, and anyway, I've been looking for because, as I have mentioned, I have stopped drinking alcohol after my whole life, basically. And with that, a lot of things change. I still smoke cigarettes, not as many, but I still do. And I still smoke weed eventually. Not as much as I used to either. But because I was really in a bad place that day, I have decided to try the medicine that the therapist offered. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to get in trouble here. I don't know how all these work, but it's a downer. Before I was on a upper that wasn't doing any result. It was just giving me side effects. And then this one is a downer. I can assure you it is a downer because it knocked me out from 10 o'clock evening yesterday, 10:30ish, until today at it was basically 24-hour, give or take an hour. And I'm still dizzy. I had a shower. I'm still very like powerless. I feel like my brain it's not even I mean, I know we are not trained to use a lot, but I have been pushing my one quite a bit. But I can at the moment feel that I am still under effects of the medicine and that my brain is not as functional as it was before I decided to take this medicine. So at first, today when I woke up, I have decided I'm not taking this medicine anymore because I am willing to work with what I think is the best way. I have filled myself with exterior substances and feelings and ideologies and everything. It was always taken from the outside, and I don't want anymore. I want to work myself. I know it may sound crazy. I know, but it is what it is. I think that that's one thing also that we are not taught is that these are the right things to do. Self knowing and practices that make you stronger. They don't want us to have that. So we were educated to a point that all of these sound silly. As my grandmother said, that I should man up and be ashamed of myself. Because that's what they had. That's the influence they had to prevent us from knowing and to deal with on the right way. Because again, that make us weaker, through all of what they have done to us, to all of that's what makes me believe that we might be really in a farm like Ike says, because it makes too much sense, when I think of that. But yeah, so I have decided not to take this anymore, and I am going to. Oh, shit. I'm going to work with. I'm going to use the all the sessions I have left with my therapist, and then there are a few methods that it can be used without medicine. There are trauma focused therapy like EMDR. It's an exercise that unknowing I have been practicing, but I didn't know that there was a thing, you know. And also another one that it's the one I'm gonna really work on it. It's CBT. It's funny how it sounds like you're gonna say something, but now CBT. It's cognitive behavioral therapy. Also, this is one thing I'm really willing to work on it because it's designed to help people identify and change negative thought patterns and behaviors. It's structured, goal oriented, and focuses on here and now rather than into past events. So, this is one thing that I have been doing. I have even mentioned here in this channel that, again, I'm not here to criticize or to bring up what really happened. Like, everybody had, I mean, some people more than others, but in my case, my childhood and my growing was a bit turbulent. There were a few things that uh, were, as I said, maybe one day that will come up here, but not at the moment. So there are things that I'm trying to work on it, and then consequently, I have had a teenage very turbulent as well. A lot of actions that I did, yeah, that I took or I did, they weren't really right. And I now assume most of it. I can assume a lot of things that I did wrong, but I also know that I am not that bad person. So I looked for the root. Why did I act like that? And I know now, and I understand, and I forgive if it's that the need. And I am looking because, I can't blame or point my finger to anybody. I can only try to understand and fix what I can on myself. And I now understood as well that these overlaying things, that's what happened when I have tried to speak to some people that, I wanted some answers, and they instantaneously attack me with things that I have done wrong, not analyzing what it has happened before that. And that's also their defense mechanism because, to not feel guilty or to protect themselves from that guiltiness feeling, or even being strong enough to assume that the mistake was committed, as I have already with many people. I have already, between, like, since last year, I have sent message to many people, assuming my mistakes and apologizing, especially to the girls that I have married. And when I have sent them emails, assuming my mistakes, that I have done wrong. And I'm sure they were amazing beings, and I am sure that analyzing everything, if I hadn't committed such a mistakes, everything would have been different. I am sure of that. So, but then again, this, it's not blaming for what has happened. It's just understanding. You got to see it that way. It's not finding a guilty one. It's literally understanding what happened, because in the end it doesn't really matter. But because we have this that is unknown, that is feeling, it's unknown to explain. Or, I mean, there are some theories, but so then, now I am trying to deal with mine, because especially after leaving alcohol, things like, I start to think more. I started to think more. I started to, have more the will for understanding, because I had, like, ups and downs. But then I think I have found, and again, I'm practicing these because it has a little bit of psychodynamic theory as well, because I work with free association, not much dream analysis, but journaling, uh, exploring childhood memories, and trying to look to the good, take the good out of it, because everything can be turned into a lesson that makes you who you are today. So that's why you take a suffering moment and make it look, like you polish the bad things around and you see as a positive thing. So you transform the vision of something that was before putting you down, and you can see that, you know, like I see in some things nowadays, I would never be here where I am if things were different. If things were more, yeah, if they were different than what they were, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't even, like, if I analyze like I have been, some actions I have also mentioned these already here. I shouldn't be here. I could, in all the situations I have put myself through. If you look at to the numbers, I was really lucky. I have been really lucky, because I shouldn't be here anymore. So, all of these make me understand that I can. It's not easy, no, but I can look or feel, because that's what happens when you have those memories of things. I can look and find positive things in all of them. It's hard, but yeah, I am, doing my best. Look, this is all that I done today, all my research just for today. It started here, and then I go here, here, and here. So these are things that I note that I have to do, that I am working on it to achieve that. But one thing I have really decided is that I prefer to go through those moments again than take medicine. I have agreed that I'm gonna do a few changes. My feeding habits are not bad. I'm eating little, but I'm eating things that are, trivial for life, like eggs and some proteins. Maybe I could eat more fiber. You know, Once now and then I eat meat. Like every lion. They don't hunt every day. So, but yeah, and exercising, I'm gonna have to. I have that on my schedule already on my board, but I always, I even bought the weights for it, so I really will get that going, because it's now, after taking the medicine, I have seen that I don't want to be like that, like zombie like, literally. I had times during the day that I woke up that I would normally, at the first time I would normally, get up and then get things done, make my tea, sit down here, get some work done and whatnot. But, today, in fact, I lost a class. I couldn't do it. And luckily, the student was very understanding, and he also had a commitment that was kind of convenient for him. That was luck. So it didn't affect as much. And a phone call from a very important situation as well. I didn't even wake up with the alarm and the phone call. So, and you see, like, I know after a while my body will adapt to this medication, and then I will, as everything, everything you take in the beginning is good, and then after you need higher doses, that's your body start to assimilate that and whatnot. But yeah, I decided that I don't want, because it's too much time wasted. I don't want to be like that. I have had already when I was leaving drugs. I was taking a lot of. these antidepressives that just knocks you out, you know. But yeah, I don't want that. I don't have that much time to waste. I rather read and do the practices that I see on the books, and with now with ChatGPT, it's amazing how much knowledge you can gain from anywhere. And so yeah, I rather take this side of the challenge, because for me the pills is like giving up. For me the pills is the same as just fucking killing yourself. Doesn't make any sense. Take the pills. That's not what I need now. Uh, Even the other ones, there were uppers that should do something, but they were only giving me side effects. I wasn't feeling any uplift whatsoever. But yeah, now that I've seen the effect of this one, I am sure that that's not what I want. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say about today. Is that times have been tough, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I suppose that's a big cliche, but it is the truth. And I am working as much as I can to get things moving. I am to see here about some work with just data entry and that kind of stuff. Start from the bottom, typing some data, analyzing data, learn everything on that. And psychology has entered my list of what I want to study, because I believe that with all these researches I've been doing, and one thing I am very good at is interpreting things, so I really believe that I can in the future, as I am capable of breaking down complex subjects to simple words. That's a really good skill to have. I have been complimented a lot when I was bar training people. A lot of people told me that when I was teaching English. A lot of people also have told me that I can break down complex information into simple words, where make easier to humans understand. So that's pretty cool. So this is what I'm doing now. It's also part of my treatment, of my uh, practices. It's pointing to things that I have done well as well. Not only criticizing and say you could have done better, could have done well. Everybody could have done better in some point, but you got to look at the, and see that as well, that you have done good, not only bad, and take yourself out of that stage of self criticism all the time. Because in the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so that's about it, I think, for today. It's realizing that medicines aren't for me anymore. That I think that through mind and body exercises, I can turn things around and make them even have a more positive effect eventually in humanity, using my skills and the knowledge I'm gaining through the process as well, and which is being even, I believe, more effective because I'm going through all that. So, again, analyzing, taking some good out of the bad, it's like being inside. It's, and when you have the mindset, it's really good because you can really experience, the things, and what is like you're setting your brain to change things. You want to change. So it's fun because it's kind of like you see yourself, but from another angle. You were here watching yourself. It's crazy, I know. But yeah, I believe I will be able. I am already being able. So there you go. That's today's video here in my hospital with my fellows robots here. There's one here. There's another one. A little one. She's always there. And yeah, so that's about it. I think I don't think medicine is the way. I think that alternative medicine is the way, and self understanding, and yeah, learning and being open to ideas and to practices that may seem useless or too simple to be efficient. We weren't taught that because sometimes it really does look like, man, that's it, what I have to do. And it is at the same time that is hard is easy. I don't know if you know what I mean. When you understand, it becomes easy, but it's hard to do. Yeah. And again, we weren't taught that in school. So there you go. Haven't had any comments yet, even though I had a lot of, uh, how do you say? I had a lot of, not intriguing, it's polemic videos. Nobody has ever commented anything or given an opinion. So, if you've seen this, tell me what you think. Do you take medicines to help you get out of bad places, to help you understand things? Do you still drink alcohol and think that that's okay, that alcohol is good for you? Do you also smoke weed? Just say anything. Help me out to break this down even more and, see what's your point of view on it. Right. That's it. I'm gonna try to watch a movie now to, wear off the rest of this pill. And tomorrow's another day. I got a 2-hour class tomorrow to make up for today class, and a lot of studies to do. Yeah, I need to do a lot of calculation, binary, all that. The test is on the upcoming week, so we did a mock test this week. I didn't do very well, but now we have an example, so I'm gonna break this down tomorrow as well and have a higher understanding. And I'm not sure if next semester I'm not gonna swap the course to psychology. I may. I may. I will have a look in what's going to be presented on the second year of computing science. And yeah, the psychology, it's only in Swansea, so I would have to move, which was one thing I wanted to do. So I will speak to the university and I'll see what's the possibilities of that happening. Cool. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Right. Yeah, I had to come back to add that I was thinking. When I was younger, that I used to write quite nice poems and texts. I remember that the best of my writing was when I was struggling. That's why I think that because I am through this process of self-awareness, I have to look on the bright side because a lot of the big psychologists and psychiatrists, they also had traumas. And that makes more effective to be able to try some practices because you have lived or you are living. So again, finding the bright side of life on things that seem dark.